There are rumours flying around that after the spectacular back-to-back title-winning promotion performances, that an unnamed manager has gone out and bought the pink Southend away shirt and might wear it in a future video once it arrives. At the moment, these rumours aren't confirmed, but, you know, for clarification, I've only ever been to Southend once in my life. I'm not a Southend fan. And, yeah, I didn't ever expect to be buying a shirt for another team, but they now have a special place close to my heart. Hello and welcome to Season 5, Part 9 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode we have our final 2 games of the season, and for some reason I've got the wrong screen on. That's never happened before. Ooh, bad omen. There you go. We're playing at home to Burton and at home to Preston to round out the season. We're closing in on our highest ever points total, our highest ever goals scored in a season total. Taylor Crossdale is also closing in on the highest goal scorer record for Southend, but unfortunately isn't going to get it because he's got a damaged shoulder, so we're not going to see any more of him this season. But he has signed a rather lucrative new contract, keeps him at the club for the next 3 seasons. Yes, he's on nearly $5,000 a week, but you know, we're a championship team now. We can afford it. I haven't bought any players yet. I'm trying to be sensible. Money-wise, it's not looking great. New board, loads of money, yeah, great. But we have got money to spend. We're obviously going to get some of that lovely championship money, and we've got a decent amount of wage budget to spend as well, so I'll get well stuck into that once we get to the end of the season. Need to be careful though, because by the time everyone's had their promotion pay rises, it's going to eat up a significant chunk of that wage budget, so we're probably going to need to move some people on, and I do want your thoughts down in the comments below. What sort of player we need to be looking for? There's no point saying player names. We're going to be into our 6th season, so the players who are good at the start probably are either too expensive or not very good now at this point. But what type of player do we need? I know we need a goalkeeper. I know we need a ball-winning midfielder. I know we need another option at left-back, or if we can't get Tummelty back again, a left-back full stop. But where else do we need to strengthen? Where do we not need to strengthen? Give me your thoughts on what I need to be doing over the summer, how to spend this money sensibly, and should I just blow £5 million on the Never Never like I've done previously? But let's get into today's team. I've tried to rotate as much as I can, but we don't have much to rotate with. With Pike and Taylor Crossdale injured, we only have 2 options as striker. Tom Anderson's now picked up an injury, as well as has Ellis Plummer, so we're a little bit limited in what we can do with regard to rotation. We've got a few of the youth team players who are on the bench. I tried to recall Peter Drury from his loan. You might remember him from a couple of seasons ago now. I don't think I've mentioned him since. Let's see if we can find Patrick Drury, sorry, not Peter Drury. He's 18 now and has the potential to be one of the best players at the club, and according to our scouts will be better than Taylor Crossdale. He's already 2-star current ability, a solid 5-star potential ability, and has the potential to be a championship striker in the future. He might be becoming part of our first team squad next season, but at the moment he's out on loan at Gateshead in the Conference National. I tried to recall him, I can't, so we're unfortunately not going to see any more of him. But I haven't seen him play for 2 seasons now, so you know, he might be quite good. Now he's a big boy. But this is the team that we're playing today. So we've got Miguel in goal. We're having a look at him. I mean, he's probably not going to be the goalkeeper we try and sign permanently. We are being linked with him in the media. He's got good potential, 5-star potential, but he's no better than Ted Smith. And I think we probably need to bring in someone who is an established, at least League One goalkeeper. We've got 2 League Two keepers at the club at the moment. If we can get an ageing Championship veteran on decent money, then that would be an option for us as well. But we'll have another last little look at Miguel, because he might be the man. He's certainly got the potential to come in and improve with us. So he's going to be in goal for the last 2 games, injuries allowing. And then the back 4 is Tummelty, Jackson, Fowler and Grant. Midfield of Zellalim, Cool and Blanchfield. We're going to have as much of a look at Blanchfield as we can as we decide whether or not he's going to be part of our squad next season. And then Benteke in behind Marriott and Schiavi, because really in those positions they're our only options. On the bench we do have some youngsters. We've got Declan Taff, 17-year-old, probably not ever going to be good enough, but we'll have a little look at him. just to see what he's like. We've got Alistair Newton, who is a 17-year-old striker. Again, probably never going to be someone who's in and around the squad on a regular basis. Will Wells, who's a midfielder, who's for 17 years old, decent current ability, but never really going to get much better. There's a theme here. And then Aidan Nichols is going to be on the bench. So he's only 16. Probably, maybe the pick of the bunch that we've got on the bench today, potential-wise, but he's no Patrick Drury, is he? So we'll throw him on at some point and see how they are. But the chances are, youth players, the problem is they've come in as youth players when we were in League 2 and League 1, so they're never going to be good enough to play for us in the Championship, I guess. But Drury, I'm excited about. I hadn't really been keeping track of him because, youth development has never really been a strong point of mine, but I'm really excited about the future at Southend. I reckon we could be here for at least another 2 or 3 seasons, depending on how things go. I've just signed a new 2-year contract on big money, so expect a house move over the summer. Marriott's just, I wasn't even looking. I mean, we're just sort of pottering around out wide there, and I wasn't even paying attention. There's less than a minute on the clock. I'm still chatting to you lot about my new contract. And is this Schiavi breaking? I mean, in fact, no, that's a ball across from their defender, and Marriott just gets in and tucks it away. Contract news for Jack Marriott as well, because obviously he did come in and ask for a pay rise after he got promoted, despite him being the highest wage earner at the club, because he had the match highest earner clause. After prolonged contract negotiations, we've actually persuaded him to take a pay cut. He's gone back down to $3,000 a week. It was at the expense of adding a year onto his contract, so he's got a 2-year deal with us now, but only on $3,000 a week, and it no longer has the match highest earner clause. So we've managed to get that one out of the way, which we needed to, really, because going into the Championship, there's every chance we might sign a player on $10,000 a week at some point, and we can't be having a player like Jack Marriott on that kind of money. Zelalim has just scored an absolute beauty again. I say it every video now, but he is our superstar. He's getting, look at that. I mean, okay, it wasn't the best shot in the world, but it was from range. It's his 5th goal of the season. He only joined us in January. What a difference maker he's been. He's a Championship quality player and has the potential to keep getting better as well. So there's a few of them. We've got a few gems around this club. We haven't got much in the way of depth, and there are a few areas that need strengthening, but there's a few little diamonds in the rough, like Benteke, like Zelalim, who I think could probably make the step up and be the basis of a decent lower mid-table Championship team, maybe. That's what we've got. That's what we're looking for, isn't it, really? I mean, where should we be looking to finish next year? Is it all about survival? Because we're going to be punching massively above our weight. It's all about survival, isn't it? We shouldn't be thinking any further ahead than that. But, I don't know, a couple of years in the Championship, if we do get the new ground and the new board keep pumping money into the club, you never know. This could be the success stories of all success stories. I mean, I've got the shirt on the way now. We need to stick around for a little while. I can't move clubs and then have a Southend shirt arrive. That's just silly. Right, let's make a couple of substitutions. Bring on some of these youngsters, see if they're any good. He doesn't want to be a poacher. He also, I mean, what is it? What are you, Alistair Newton? What do you want to do? Are you a winger? Is that what? Oh, you're a target man. That isn't happening. We don't do target man around here. You can play as defensive forward and like it. Right, Benteke, there's no one to come on for him. In fact, we'll put Zelalim further forward and we'll bring on Will Wells and have a look at him in midfield, because why not bring on the kids? Now is not the time to be messing around giving Harry Hamlin one extra game, because we've probably decided that if we can get that £200,000 deal agreed for him again that we did in January, I think we'll probably look to keep him. In fact, we will bring him on now. Stick cool out there and do that. Yeah, I think $200,000 for Hamlin. He's reasonable. He's got potential to improve. He's been a very useful squad player for us to have this year. I think he's probably capable of making a step up. And is that a good idea? Again, the comments are there. Tell me why that's a bad thing for me to do. Tamelty, another one we've got to make permanent, haven't we, if we can. He's been an excellent player for us for the last 2 seasons, 2 league title medals. I mean, why wouldn't he want to come? And there you go. And another efficient little win. Puts us on to 94 points. We've now scored over 100 goals this season. And we've just got to round things out with this last game of the season against Preston. while I mull over more plans, probably. Right, last game of the season, just the one change. Harry Hamlin comes in for, what's his face? Can't even remember his name. Blanchfield in midfield. I think we're done with Blanchfield. And we have just made a bid for Harry Hamlin. £325,000. Let me know if we're overpaying for him. Let's remind you what he's like. 21 years old, 2.5-star current ability, 4-star potential. He is a tackling midfield player, can play as a defensive midfielder, which might be handy next year, and in central midfield. He's been with us all season, only averages 6.94. I think he might be the ball-winning midfielder we need. He's done a job there for us this season. Keep an eye on him today and let me know if you think we should be following through with this £325,000 offer. A bunch more kids going to sit on the bench. We won't go through them all because there's so many of them this time. We'll have a look at them if they come on, but they're no better than the ones that were on their last game. We're basically just working through all of them and having a look at all the youngsters and seeing if anyone's any good, if anyone stands out. I mean, if a youngster comes in and scores a hat-trick, then we know he's probably one to keep an eye on. Right, Schiavi, possibly coming to the end of his Southend career. He's not really been that good for us this year in League One. Is he capable of making a step up? I'm not so sure. We might keep him around. Certainly with Pike injured, there's a chance Schiavi will stick around at least for the first half of the season as cover for Pike. But then when Pike's back, I imagine he steps into that squad spot and Schiavi moves on at that point. But who knows? He might do a tailored Crossdale and after a season not really playing and not scoring any goals, might make a step up a division and be spectacular. It'd certainly be very pleasant. I could handle him doing that. But part of me really wants next season to be the story of Patrick Drury's emergence in the team. Really depends on what we can find in the way of other attacking options over the summer. Oh, Jackson should have scored there. That was a good chance. Header down from Tomelty and Jackson really should have scored. He's been a fantastic player for us this season, by the way. Second best player in the division on average rating, behind Taylor Crossdale. Not bad at all for a player who we thought we might have to move on for the first half of the season when he had the hump because he didn't think we were good enough. There was a time when I didn't think he'd get back into the team because he was just so grumpy for so long. I think we proved him wrong. I think the team probably was good enough and perhaps he shouldn't have sulked. And then he'd have even more top quality appearances under his belt. As it is, he's come back in. He's playing as if he was never out of the side. And, we've liked having him back. Benteke's just got, was that his 13th or 14th goal of the season now? I mean, if he can carry that form on into the Championship, that would be awesome. I like to think we're growing and improving at the same rate Benteke is, and hopefully he'll go up there, be our captain next year, and be an outstanding Championship performer. That's what we're looking for from Jonathan Benteke. What we do need is another option to play in that role if he gets injured. We've been very lucky for 2.5 seasons with Benteke now that he hasn't picked up any knocks at any point, really. He's never had a significant amount of time out of the team, and he's such a key player. When he plays well, we play well. There you go. I haven't dropped a cliche for a while. There you go. Have a football cliche. What a name. Margitson Pugh. Imagine, I mean, how much does it cost to have that put on your shirt? That's insane. See, the strikers aren't playing well. We've only got one on the bench. It's going to be Newton coming on again. We saw last game he didn't want to do that. Should we mess around with the tactic? Shall we bring on a winger? Should we go strikerless? You know, it's the last game of the season. Why not have a little bit of fun? So let's make him a wide target man. Let's make he can stay as a winger, and perhaps make Benteke a shadow striker. There you go. Something a little bit different. It's because we haven't got any strikers on the bench. Don't expect that to be a long-term tactical change unless we score 5 goals in the last 15 minutes of the game. Hamlin needs to come off. I've just noticed how low his fitness levels are right now. So Wells can come on for him. And I want to see us get a goal with our strikerless. I've never done strikerless before. 20 minutes at the end of the last game of the season. It's the time to play and have a little go with it. And it looks like it's not causing any problems. It's not. We're certainly not tearing them apart. But then we do have 2 young kids out wide who are never going to be good enough for our team. So they're probably not the best players to be experimenting with a new system with. but at least we've not fallen apart. There you go. We've got the ball with a wide player. We haven't played with a wide player for goodness knows how long. Right, Tamelty, can't find Marvel. It's got a double L. Don't know how you say it. Oh, and we've conceded a goal right at the death, which means we're not going to get our record wins in the season, which was 30. We're sat on 29 at the moment. That's a bit of a shame. Probably shouldn't have messed around with the tactics, maybe. But who cares? We get to see Miguel fly around, showing us he's no better than Ted Smith. And the hunt for a goalkeeper continues. Don't go and score again, or else I'll never, ever try a strikerless system. There you go. Might try it again one day. So, I think that was that another man of the match for Zelalem? What a player. And there we have it. We have finished our season. If we just have a little look at the league table, we already know that it's a very handsome looking league table. We finish as champions for the second year in a row. 95 points, 104 goals, goal difference of 45. Don't expect anything like that next year. But what a season. And if we look at the player records, Taylor Crossdale, best player in the division. Jackson, second best player in the division. A lot of players scored more goals than Taylor Crossdale. We've got them all scouting, don't you worry. They're all youngsters on loan from Premier League clubs. So we're keeping an eye on all of them. Taylor Crossdale also finishes top for man of the match. Let's have a little look at the squad then to see how everyone's done. First, if we sort by goals, it's been the Martel Taylor Crossdale story this season, but it doesn't tell the whole story because there are goals throughout the squad again. It's not been a one-man goal machine type situation. Jack Marriott's weighed in with 22 goals, which, when you consider how little we paid for him, that's a bit of a bargain, really. A goal every other game for £80,000. I'll do that business every day of the week. Raquel Pike, 14 goals from 24 starts, not too shabby at all. Obviously, season cut short by a serious injury. Hopefully, he'll be back, and hopefully he'll recapture his form because he has had a good couple of seasons with us. Still only 23. That is some good goal returns. What's that? 40 goals in 70 games for us, moving up through a division as well. And Benteke weighing in with 13 goals. And, I mean, he's the reason we've done so well over the last 2 seasons. I couldn't believe we got him on loan. I really couldn't believe we managed to sign him permanently the next year. And now he's just getting better and better. He's our captain now. There you go, the fans love him. In fact, talking to the fans, we'll come back to this in a minute. Am I a legend here yet? Still only favoured personnel! Goodness me, what do you have to do to move on to... Oh, that's a long list of icons. Goodness me. So, the favoured personnel is pretty much all us, but none of this team have moved into the icons yet. What on earth do we have to do? We've just won back-to-back promotions. Right, where were we? Let's keep moving back. If we look on assists, it's Benteke, Taylor Crossdale, Marriott again. Tamelty coming in with 8 from left back, not too bad at all. Josh Grant, 7 from right back, also quite impressive. And then if we sort by average ratings, the signing of the season, Gideon Zelalem. Now valued at £750,000. We've only got him for one more year. We probably need to give him a contract extension over the summer, but I've got a feeling he's going to ask for a big pile of cash to stay. 3.5-star current ability, 4-star potential, best midfielder at the club by a long way, potential to be a good championship central midfielder, and I mean he's already a very good League One central midfielder. I don't really know why Hull let him go, because it just seems mad, really. So he has been very, very good. And then it's the usual suspects, Taylor Crossdale, Jackson. Tom Anderson came in the summer, 27 years old. He's had a very good season, coming in from Port Vale, where he certainly wasn't spectacular during his time at Port Vale, but he's come into us and been brilliant and formed a really good partnership with Adam Jackson. Wordsworth, I mean, what can we say about Anthony Wordsworth? 32 years old now, which means he's getting younger if you look back over the last the last 2 seasons of videos where I've been describing him much older than that. But he's had a very good 3 seasons during our time at the club, and hopefully he can weigh in with a few more of those beautiful free kicks next year in the Championship. We've given him another year's contract because he deserves it. Even if he doesn't play, he deserves another year and a big payday. Benteke's high up there as well, as is Pike and Grant and Tamelty. And then it's a whole load of people who probably need replacing. A little bit disappointed in Aaron Cool. Had really high hopes for him earlier in the season, paid a lot of money for him in the summer. I mean, it's not a bad season at all, but not as good as I'd hoped. And we need him to step up another level next season if he's going to manage to stick around in the team. John White's retiring. We have tried to offer him a job as a coach. He seems to want to stay, but not for the kind of money we're going to pay him. He wants a pay rise to become a youth team coach. But he's been at Southend so long, we do kind of want to keep him around. But he wanted £1,500 a week to coach the under-18s, and he's only been getting £800 a week as a player. So he needs to get his expectations a little bit more realistic. And then there's Harry Hamblin. Do we want to pay £325,000 for him? Let me know down in the comments. And that's that. What a season. We've got money to spend. I don't know how I'm going to spend it, but you'll find out tomorrow, I guess, because I'll have thrown it all away at that point, and hopefully we can have as good a summer as we did last year and see what we can achieve in the Championship. If you've enjoyed that episode and that season and Southend so far and Non-League to Legends so far, make sure you pop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. And thank you very much for watching.